Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Yesterday afternoon between 3 and 5 p.m., I was outside and I looked up like I always do, and I noticed some incredible colors in the afternoon sky between 3 and 5 p.m. Here's one of the many photos that I took between 3 and 5 p.m. I also have video footage of the color that was changing in the proximity of the sun. Over the course of 120 minutes, the colors kept changing in the proximity of the sun. Also, yesterday afternoon, around that same time, there was a massive CME that was detected by the Stereo A spacecraft that follows the Earth as we orbit the sun. Stereo B is in front of the Earth, as you can see right here. This is their position with respect to the Earth and the sun. Stereo A is behind the Earth. Stereo B right now is inactive. Stereo A is currently active, and that's the spacecraft that detected that very large CME. And I also have other views from other instruments that also saw that massive CME that is not Earth-directed. We're going to come back and take a look at all of that data. I also have a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. But first, over here at the website, you can see one of the new photos that I took yesterday afternoon on the heels of that massive CME. Looking at the Schumann resonance, right now pretty quiet compared to a little bit of activity in the last 48 hours. Just some background noise right now. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux, did not see an M1 class solar flare at the 1600 mark like we saw the 2 days prior. Nothing today. All in all, pretty quiet. Looking at the planetary K index, it too is pretty quiet for the time being. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. A little bit of earthquake activity on the east, northeastern side. Everywhere else is pretty quiet regarding earthquakes. Do see a little bit of magma intrusion here and there across the seismographs, but all in all, pretty quiet at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. I want to take you guys now back up to this very large CME that once again was not Earth-directed. Sun releases a giant CME on 2/15 of 2022. And here we go. This is the Stereo Ahead spacecraft. That's in regular speed. I slow it down, zoom in, and that again came off of the backside of the sun, so it was not detected by the instruments that monitor the Earth for these types of large-scale events, and that would definitely be considered a large-scale event. That was a huge CME. Here's another look at the CME as it jumped off the backside of the sun. This is from the Solar Dynamics Observatory. It was still able to pick up part of that large CME, again, that was on the backside of the sun. So no issues here on Earth. Here's another look from the SDO. Looks like a big fountain of plasma. Just an incredibly large structure that I read was around 400,000 kilometers in length. At its peak, you see right here, extending off of the northeastern limb of the sun. And here's another look, still image, at its peak from the Stereo Ahead spacecraft that once again is not necessarily ahead of the Earth, it's behind the Earth as we orbit counterclockwise around the sun. Okay, I want to take you guys now to this slideshow I put together of the incredible colors I saw in the afternoon sky following the large CME that again wasn't Earth directed, but I find it highly coincidental that the sky in the proximity of the sun down here on Earth was just loaded with all of these unusual colors. You don't see this every day. And this was on the heels of that massive CME that came off the backside of the sun, but it probably sent plasma in all directions. And I'm wondering if that's what we're looking at here in the upper atmosphere of planet Earth, if this isn't somehow related to that very large CME, because I don't believe in coincidence. And again, the sky looked like this right after this event occurred on the sun or on the backside of the sun. Again, it wasn't Earth directed, and that's probably one of the largest one I've seen in quite some time, or at least it ranks right up there. And here's another perspective of the sky. And all these photos, you can see the sun's a little bit lower and lower. We're taken about 20, 30 minutes apart. I'd look up, and this formation up here in the proximity of the sun would change. You could see it was kind of changing as the sun was moving farther and farther west towards the horizon, and it was getting lower and lower, but the colors were just still very profound. And again, they lasted for 2 or 3 hours. Same day, George from out here in Phoenix, Arizona, happened to catch the sun as it was dipping down below the horizon. The color had dissipated. It was more back up in this area when I was viewing it. He happened to get it as it was dipping down below the horizon, getting ready to set for the day. But I found that very interesting that following the large CME that we had skies absolutely loaded with color down here on planet Earth. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos, sent from all around the world. Photo here sent in by Greg out of San Diego. Looks like a blue moon. Really cool sky from San Diego, California. Mark J out of Kansas. This is from a while back, but a big orange moon. Photo taken by Mark out of Kansas. Sheldon out of Kelowna, British Columbia, yet another big halo in the sky around the moon. Dana S., not sure of the location. This is unedited, by the way. I haven't done anything to this photo. She said she stepped outside early one morning right before the sun came up, and that's what the sky looked like. Miss Peebles out of Kansas City, I'm assuming that's Missouri. She too noticed a very colorful sky. Not sure of the day here, but you can see the sky was absolutely loaded with color. These next photos were sent in by Mark Ian out of Buffalo, New York. He couldn't help but notice these rows of unique clouds up in the sky that look like little ships moving through the sky, leaving a vapor trail behind them from Buffalo, New York. Photo here sent in by Nikki B. out of Louisiana. That is a classic fog bow. You don't see those very often. Ardmore, Oklahoma. Crystal M. Sky looked like it was loaded with louvers as far as she could see, pretty much in all directions. Incredible photos coming out of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Photo here by Lisa out of Canton, North Carolina, who noticed the same phenomenon on a different day. Bill and Patty out of Boothbay, Maine, couldn't help but notice what looked like a long line of white licorice in the sky above Boothbay, Maine. You got to ask yourself, how does that happen? Kind of like this here. How does this happen? Looks like a big, giant ship sitting up in the sky. Photo sent in by Joanne C. In fact, you could say there may be 2 or 3 up in the sky. Here's the same photo in a slightly different format, and that is what compelled her to take that photograph of those very uniquely shaped clouds. Photo here sent in by Aloha Sedona out of Sedona, Arizona. If you look real close, you can see what looks like a nearly perfect triangle or pyramid shape in the daytime sky above Sedona, Arizona. Photo here sent in by Joseph from right out here in Phoenix. Kind of an odd-shaped looking cloud. Looks like a rabbit with long ears just sitting up in the sky. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. That's a real photograph. Derek C. sent in a video of some incredible sun halos. Not exactly sure of the location, but you can see there's multiple halos in the sky around the sun. You got that V up there at the top, sundogs on the left and right, an arc up here above, the arcs around the sun down below. Just an incredible sequence of events. These next photos and video were sent in by Dino out of Wickman, Western Australia from the 16th. You can see the clouds are shaped in a big bow moving across the sky, creating a dust storm there in the background. Once again, this video was sent in by Dino out of Western Australia. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.